From blockbuster hits to some absolute flops, Jason Statham has appeared in a lot of movies over the years. Here are the reasons why we think he's sabotaging his career. The question must be asked, how did he go from classics like Crank to The Meg? My heart goes out to all of you who have had to sit through that. The world of Hollywood sure is controversial, and many actors like Jason Statham have been making waves in the industry for years. A movie's success ultimately boils down to opinion, but when we see overwhelmingly negative reviews, you've got to ask, what went wrong? Was it the director's mistake? Was it bad acting? Or was the story just a poor choice for the big screen? Before we get into the nitty-gritty of what went wrong in Statham's career, let's take a second to acknowledge his undeniable talent and impressive filmography. From his breakout role in Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels to iconic franchises like The Transporter and The Expendables, we can all agree that he has solidified himself as one of the most recognizable action stars of our time. However, it seems lately he's been making some questionable choices, and it's time we address the elephant in the room. Don't get me wrong, I understand the appeal of a thrilling creature feature. Just look at the success of the Jaws franchise. But when an actor of Statham's caliber decides to be a part of projects that lack depth and critical acclaim, it's sure to raise some eyebrows. We're talking about, of course, the huge failure that is The Meg. Is he making the most of his undeniable talent or just cashing in on his action hero image? When we think of Jason Statham, images of high-octane, pulse-pounding action movies that keep us on the edge of our seats come to mind. Films like The Transporter and Crank showcased his exceptional physicality, impeccable choreography, and his charismatic presence. In recent years, though, films like The Meg have made fans question why Statham has veered off this path of success. It may have been reasonably successful at the box office, but the reviews speak volumes. It scored a measly 5.6 on IMDb and only 46% on Rotten Tomatoes. But why? Well, for one, in the past, Statham capitalized on his extensive martial arts background to create engaging fight scenes that fans loved. He is a black belt in multiple disciplines, and fans love to see real fights with no stunt doubles. The Meg, however, lacked this side of Statham completely, instead relying heavily on CGI rather than Statham's acting prowess. As technology improves, it's understandable why big-budget movies want to create stunning visual effects. But time and time again, it's been proven that that just isn't enough. Viewers want memorable characters and an engaging story as well as cool effects. Another recent Statham film that was subpar is Operation Fortune. Unlike The Meg, this film reverted back to what Statham is known for: cool fights and action scenes that keep you on the edge of your seat. Although you will see Statham kicking asses in the movie, it's still considered a flop and has done nothing to keep his career alive. The movie had a great cast, including Hugh Jackman as the villain and Jason Statham as the protagonist. Despite big names, the movie had a terrible script and did not get the full potential out of the cast. Fans called the movie easily forgettable and just another generic spy movie. Although a step above The Meg, Operation Fortune has done nothing to bring Statham back into the spotlight. The problem here is that by associating himself with these kinds of films, he risks jeopardizing his brand and losing all credibility. Back in the day, if you saw a film starring Jason Statham, you knew you were in for a treat. Nowadays, it's probably just going to be a poorly done remake of movies that have been done thousands of times. To make matters worse, when an actor keeps appearing in subpar movies, it leads fans to start questioning an actor's motives. Are they in the film to create a fantastic piece of art for people to enjoy for years to come? Or are they just in it for the money? This can seriously affect his integrity, and can you blame fans for thinking that way? Movies like this utterly undermine the trust and respect he's gained over the years. I hope he remembers that his talent and potential go beyond simply being an action star. To bring back the epic action star he once was, he needs to choose projects that challenge him. Projects that showcase his talents and ability to deliver performances that are fun but also thrilling and exciting. If he keeps up this trajectory, who knows how he'll be remembered. There was a time when his name alone would guarantee a movie's success, but it's starting to look like his magic touch is fading away. Let's take a look at his recent filmography and try to figure out why. Films like Wrath of Man and Cash Truck struggled to capture the attention and enthusiasm of audiences. They both did very badly at the box office, so it begs the question, is his star power starting to wane? Audiences have come to expect a certain level of excitement from a Statham film. They crave adrenaline-pumping action, high-stakes thrill rides, and charismatic performances. Recently, he's not been able to deliver on this at all. A possible explanation could be a disconnect from the choice of projects that are part of an audience's preferences these days. Trends and tastes in cinema are always evolving. What once resonated may no longer have the same impact. The Meg is a prime example of this. We've all seen scary shark movies so many times, it's starting to get boring. Another reason for his lack of box office hits could have to do with the scripts and storytelling choices of his recent movies. While action-packed fight sequences and intense showdowns are undoubtedly his strength, a well-written narrative and compelling characters are equally important to a film's success. To reverse this negative trend he's on, it's important he seeks out scripts that not only showcase his action prowess, but also provide depth, strong character development, and engaging storylines. To do this, he needs to collaborate with visionary directors who can harness his potential to create masterpieces that resonate with the audience. Actors that continue to shine after a career as long as Statham's understand the importance of mixing it up and not sticking to the same formula. It's crucial to understand the ever-changing landscape of the movie industry. What once worked may no longer have the same appeal. It's not easy to stay relevant, but he needs to adapt and identify projects that are in line with what audiences want while also staying true to his strengths. He should take more calculated risks, not just take every project that's thrown at him. This could be venturing into the unknown and taking on projects from completely different genres, which will allow him to showcase his versatility as an actor and broaden his fan base. If he keeps up this string of box office failures, it'll be too late to regain his audience's trust. This will also impact his career even more. If his name no longer brings in the big numbers, directors will choose to cast other people. He's been in the game for years, but we think he's still got a lot more to show. He's got nothing to lose at this point. We hope he broadens his horizons and diversifies his roles. It can't be denied that his career is on a downward spiral. Just look at the numbers. His recent movies have been flop after flop, and it's starting to look a bit concerning. To break free from this cycle, he needs to make smarter choices. He must step out of his comfort zone, adapt to a rapidly changing landscape, and seek out projects that allow him to showcase his talents in fresh and captivating ways. With the right focus, we're sure he can rebound from his recent failures and create masterpieces like he once did. With a man with so much potential, we hope he turns it around. So, there you have it. From choosing projects that won't captivate audiences like they should, to repetitive films we've all seen before. These are the reasons we think Jason Statham is sabotaging his career.